Hey, it's Tom Fuller again, creator of Joomla Bible Study. Today I wanted to talk a little bit about how you can create your own views, your own templates using Joomla Bible Study. This has actually been in place for a bit, but we've never really talked about it very much. To do that, you're going to go to the Template Files icon in the control panel, or alternatively, there's a Template Files link on the left-hand navigation. A template file replaces a view. So if you think of the sermons list, the module, the sermon display, that type of thing, most of the views in Joomla Bible Study can be replaced by their own template file. Now, I'm going to concentrate on the studies list just to give you an example of one that I've already done. When you go there, there probably won't be any of these files in place. It all comes out of the database, but when it's written, it goes back to a real PHP file. You have to be pretty careful with these, but let's take a look, because it can actually be pretty powerful and let you customize Joomla Bible Study in ways that you might not have been able to before. So what happens when you edit one is you can come up with the title, as you can see here, and the type has already been set. There is some code that's already going to be put in place here, and you need to leave it alone. In fact, it's listed do not remove. It's very important, especially this line right here. This is what keeps Joomla safe. So we need to make sure we never take that out. Now, as you can see, I've added in a few div classes here, and I have been able to figure out some of the CSS classes that come with Joomla, and you can do your own research on that. This row fluid is something that comes from Bootstrap, also in Joomla, and span 12 means that it goes across the entire width of the screen. I've used a little H2 tag here, and then a title of Bible Studies, and that is basically the top of my study list. Then below, I have the different drop-down boxes that you normally see. We've made all of these available to you through several different variables out of something called this. And in PHP, this is basically a basic type of variable you can put all kinds of stuff in. This page is where we put a lot of different things that you can use. And I'll get to where you can find those in just a second. Then so that's the sort of the header to the list. And then on the list itself, I use a PHP command called forEach. Now I'm going to stop you for just a moment and say, to do these, yes, you're going to need to learn some basic PHP. So if you don't know anything about PHP, you may want to skip this video, or you may want to learn a little bit. But forEach basically says go through each of the study lists that have been filtered according to however it is that you filtered them, what books you wanted chosen, that sort of thing. And then for each of those, we're going to operate on it as a variable called study. And so what we do is we set another row fluid class, so it's going to be responsive, goes all the way across, and then we have a div that's a span 3 class. So remember, 12 columns and you divide it up. So this would be 4 per row. Then I'm going to use the echo command in PHP to echo the details link, and in my case I put it in an ahref so that it will be an actual link. And then after the link I have the study title as the text, and then we go on and I have some other CSS stuff that I've put in there. And then after our forEach I do this pagination get links command, so that is for the next pages of the list. So if I want to add something, where am I going to find it? Well, that's up in the upper right hand corner under Help. If you click on the Help button, it opens up a file that shows you how to get each one of the items that you might want to put in your custom template file. We've got them for the studies list, for the study details or sermon details, also for the series list, for the series detail or display codes, also for the teacher list and the teacher display codes as well. There's also some that you can, one in particular you can use in the module. You can make your own custom module as well. So if I'm done with that, I save it and I close it, and then it actually writes a PHP file into the sermons folder. Now how do I get that to actually work? I'm going to click on the templates, open up my template, and then when that opens up, at the very first screen, what I'm going to look for are these things right here. The studies list template, and the settings for the details, for the teacher details. This is where I'm going to choose these custom templates. It comes up with default, but look, here's Fluid Sermon List. This is the one that I had actually used. So I'm going to click on it, save and close, and then when I go back out to my site itself and I click on the studies list link, Joomla Bible Study is going to use my Fluid custom one that I made. See, here's the H2 tag with Bible studies. Here are the drop downs that I mentioned, and then here's where the for each begins and how I've put in the scripture. I've made a link out of the study. Here are the media files and that sort of thing. So it's actually very powerful. Now if you want to make a new one, a brand new one, go again to template files and click on new. I just want to show you one more thing, and that is, see here this drop down. When you first create one, you've got to choose which type you're going to make. Now once you decide on that, once you save it, you can't change it, but that's because they go into actually different folders. They're real PHP files. So anyway, hope this is helpful for you, and hope this component has been a blessing to your ministry.